Welcome in, you guys. This is so soothing on a Saturday. This is a great way to start. Hi, you guys. Welcome to WCIA Network. This is so cool, right? The music is, I think it's now needed for me. I'm finding it very centering. Definitely helps me center, especially on a weekend. You guys haven't seen this guy's face in a long time. Welcome in, my members and subscribers. Amazing. Happy Saturday. We've got Muffin Top in the house. I'm just GH. Hello. Vanessa, Shazam. Well, I do have an incredible live for you today. Hi, Crystal. And I'm not sure how I want to start this. I have a presentation today that really reviews Summer Moon, Michael Vaughn, the Idaho 4, and pulls in elements that are really quite crystal clear in each of the cases. And then I also start with photos of faces that help bring information to me. Now, when I say that, it's because when I peer into their eyes and hi there, thank you, Vanessa, and I look at their faces, I just get information. And that doesn't really happen to every face I look at that is connected with Summer Moon. It only happens with those that offer information to me, right? And this dude, the flute guy, we know him as the flute guy, I wanted to bring him back and show his face because I really haven't discussed him in months. And the reason it's important to bring people back is because it brings back that energy. It brings back the information that they share that has become major parts of Summer Moon Utah Wells' case here at WCIA Network. And it reminds me of the importance of these elements. You can't go by the faces. We're not going to be solving a case here, right? My goal here is to teach and to entertain, because this is all falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 for educational and entertainment purposes. So I'm here to help others see the truth beneath the deep fake, beneath what you see. I call it the deep fake. So because I follow the elements that Summer Moon has shown me, I follow Summer Moon's elements. One of which this gives me the opportunity, this guy does, that when I say car, I talk about fake cars. And I talk about fake cars because I don't see a car. There might be a car there. I don't know. There might be a car. He might be sitting in the trunk of a car. But that's not what my clairvoyance sees. It sees information for to tell the truth of the story. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's sitting there in what I'm telling you he's sitting in. But the story in which I see is the very small door that I always talk about, where the children go. It's underground, and you've got to go through metal, you have to go through cement, you have to go through plaster. It's not just sitting underground, it's layers. They're layered underground. So when I see this dude sitting in the car, my main focus is what you see up top. What you see up here is showing and telling me a story. Let me flip it. It's reminding me to talk about the children in order to give them justice. I just had a deja vu. As if I've done this before. And when that happens to me, it's because I have done this before. And I've done it with other channels to show this information. You know, the Idaho 4 house was torn down. I did a couple videos on it. You could go back and look at the videos. And now they're saying that they put the stuff somewhere. They didn't. They're in boxes. That there was something completely messed up with that demolition. What I saw during that demolition are the boxes, and that's the same thing that I see here, like I've always seen in day number 1. I don't forget about these things. because this is where I've seen the boxes for the first time. And this is where I saw the box in the back of these two ladies. And this here took place because when I told you guys something went wrong with Summer Moon Wells' case, something went wrong. Somebody didn't want to follow through. There was a plan in place. There was a plan in place. Like he said here in those little words that you see right there say right here, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope, and then something, a future. Do you understand that that's the resurrection? They sum it up for me to help tell the story. Let me get those words because it's something in 2021. This is what this story is about. These children go through complete sacrifice for the future as how these people see it. Does it mean that David Dotson put it out there? It says he's talking about the year Summer went missing. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future in 2021. 2021. The boxes that they're surrounded by in his video continued throughout all the videos that I chose to show you guys. This here was a very interesting video to listen to. Going back to what I was talking about, someone in the Summer Moon Wells case messed up big time. That's where the confusion came in. That's where they had to change some of the details. Someone messed up with the cars. Someone messed up with what they were doing, where they were going. Now, obviously nothing's been proven, and I'm just telling you this through my own thought process. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Nobody knows. Because nothing has been proven. But these ladies were praying for forgiveness. These ladies in this video, for those who don't remember, were praying for forgiveness in this video. They messed up. We've never seen that girl again before. If we did see her again, it was with someone else's deep fake face, right? This is what's behind them. Again, they're sitting with something in the back, the boxes, and they're by a warehouse. Now, they had a lot to say in this video. They were begging for forgiveness. Robin, I have this video and I listened to it multiple times. Now, I am not saying you and this girl are guilty of something. I'm not. What I'm saying is this video was What were you asking forgiveness for? You had it tied into Summer Moon Wells, but what is it that you were asking forgiveness for? Why? This is information that for me started to lay out that something went wrong. So when I saw this, could have been, I don't care who this could have been. I saw fuck up. I saw two people begging for forgiveness. It's all. Oh, it doesn't say 2021. It said, I believe, or 2011. Oh, you're right. 2911. Oh, you are right. Thank you. Thank you. Kiri, you are right. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes, it does say, as you're saying that, I'm looking at it. I stumbled over those words, right? Yes. So, Kiri, thank you. 2911. You are correct. So when I listened to these girls, it actually made me very sad inside. I saw mess up, you know. When I have my visions, I'm going to show you guys information today that I don't know everyone knows, that I call them solid information, meaning like you cannot tell me that this is not a part of these children, got gone, get gone children of Summer Moon Wells. This is one of them. When I had my visions are becoming extremely clear and extremely vivid, more so since my little incident. My right eye sees bright, bright colors, and my left eye is seeing more pictures. It's very interesting what has happened since that incident that I had. I swear to God, I swear to God, I thought I was in the light, because everything, it was bad. Everything turned white. For that moment, everything was white. I was in the workout room, and I remember, I'm like, am I in the light? Am I dead? Like, did I just die here? Like, what just happened? And I lost some of the vision in that eye. It was a stroke, and in the eye, only the eye, and so it's just the eye, nothing else. Everything is perfect, thank God. But it gave me this very high sense of vision with this work. There's a difference. And the difference is, for me, the visions are clearer. And when I close my eyes, you guys, my right eye sees complete blueness, a light. It's never dark. It's new. And I've been playing with it. And this photo that you see in front of you is a staple photo that the children see somewhere in their journey when they're taken. That's the guy from the diving team. And this is the same guy that is in the photo of Don Wells's video. These photos are very clear visions for me. Under this bridge, these photos, you guys, I can't say it any louder or any clearer. that these here are important for the FBI to pay attention to. If they want to go hunting anywhere, don't go freaking looking, in the middle of a park by grass, by a creek that isn't going to have anything. These are very well planned out, executed plans that the children see this. You see, that's a vision that doesn't go away for me. And this here is the very last second that played from the Appalachian Fairground, I believe it was, carnival that Don was there with his kids. This photo right there is the photo that the kids see. And again, it's right here in a different video. These aren't the same videos. This is a video that I sent into the FBI. I'm like, you need to look at this video. You're not going to see what I see, but I'm telling you what I see. So the difference between how I explain myself now is very different from how I explain myself in the future. What I am saying is the story of the movement of the story, the movement of these kids that are moving slowly behind those cement walls. The cement wall that I just mentioned on page 1 with David Dotson. So David Dotson might be sitting in a car. But when I tell you that I use my clairvoyance in order for the children to tell their story, I see David Dotson under a bridge with the cement. And I always say, does it mean that he's sitting in a car that's under a bridge? Not at all. I'm not such a fool. These are ways that I get my messages. I use the photos to tell the story. Because the children don't know of this, whatever freaking car this is. The children don't know of anything but a face that looks like David Dotson. This and this. I hear a story, you guys. I didn't look to do this shit. I wasn't like searching, to hear voices and visions of children that are murdered, taken, shoved down these holes in the ground, pulled through these wells, pulled through the tunnels. They're pulled. You guys, they're pulled. One day someone will take this really seriously and decide to, hey, you know what? Just give it a old college try. Fuck it. We've got nothing else to go on. Might as well go on this lady's shit. Well, it's not shit. These guys help tell the story of the children. This is what they see. I only know that because I see it. So what I do is try to take photos that best represent the story in which I'm told. I am telling you that this photo is an urgent photo to take seriously. I don't care what they do with it. Take it seriously. Take it, analyze it, and come up with what's going on here, because this photo with this in the background, this little thing in the background here, right here, shows up in every case. Just like that. That's Kylie Rodney. This looks like a checkered TV with a blonde wig. And that girl that's sitting there is the same looking girl that we saw on Bob Vaughn's boat. There are photos of people that repeat themselves. They repeat the same faces within certain videos that hold different cases. And that's one of them. That's one of them. Her face. It shows up in Summer Moon Wells in the backyard with Candace, Cammy Nail, Robin, Grandis, Benny. This girl shows up. Then she shows up in the Michael Vaughn case on the boat. And now she shows up in the Kylie Rodney case. There's a repeated face. Not just hers, there's a repeated face. There's a few of them. But why isn't anyone else talking about the fact that all three of these faces show up in three cases that we follow here? 3 cases. This to me was stuff that was really important. I'm not done yet to review today. Let me see if I have the group photo. I think I have it marked group. If I do, then I'll be able to find it quickly. If not, I'm not going to find it. Because I know that there's so many new people following Summer Moon group. And this is when you know. Here we go. These are the people that are in this photo. Boat. Right. Bob. sure. Showmander Bob. But these photos cannot be forgotten. These photos cannot be forgotten. The other photo that I really never go back to, the black and white photo is the one that showed up in, always forget her name, but it was the room with the number 5s. And they showed up in black and white. I'm like, that's so strange. Like, why do I see them in black and white? That was the closest photo that I've ever seen that looked like two other people. Like, it was black and white in that girl's I'm trying to look it up. Metal box. Let me show you. It's the metal box. Here, it was in this girl's photo that had all these metal boxes, and it was in the basement. This girl. Oh wait, here I have to open it up. Boxes, okay. All right, it's opening up because this is a solid. These boxes and this video was a solid element that is, to me, Trish. Thank you. This was her video. And in this video came that black and white picture. Now, we don't know who that is in the black and white photo, right? I just happened to match it up to Cher and Andy because it looked exactly like them, right? Let me open this up. So let me explain correctly. This was in her video, in Trisha's video. I'm like, what the heck? So I kept it. See the number 5 box right behind them, the maroon box behind, I'm going to call him Andy. Because this shows as if they're in that room. Let me brighten it up. I'll contrast it a little bit. So here, these guys. So I didn't really know these guys. I don't really know them well, right? Like, well, like they look just like these guys. And the box that she's in this room with these boxes are behind them. Well, I put this down as a 110% element that I see, and this was one of the best photos that I could show you these boxes under the ground in Trish's video. I am not pointing fingers at Trish. I'm telling you, she went underground to get here. Okay? And that video showed the most important. Now, you all don't remember it, but I kept it. So when I say these kids go underground in order to get to a place like this, they have to walk through hell. They have to go through and be pulled through these tunnels. That's what they're pulled through. And it's everything that I've thus far shown you. They get pulled through, and underneath these bridges, somehow there's entranceways. Because pictures like this don't lie to me. Because they hit real hard. Those are victims, and that is what they look like. So you could just imagine how my heart popped when I'm looking at these things in her video of pure sacrifice. And to me, it's showing underground, and it's showing the boxes, and it's showing victims to me. So throughout this video, I'm showing you lots of pictures because people are new. There's this girl, Trish, that is I don't think she's no longer on YouTube. But she would show amazing information to me. Amazing. And this information was just perfect for me to show the boxes. Like, this is all underground. Those are the number 5 boxes. So all of a sudden, when I'm looking through this video, and all of a sudden, those 2 faces just appear. Like, imagine it was right after this picture. So the video went like this. It was this frame. I remember this frame. Let's see if I could brighten it up a little. It went from this frame and then all of a sudden, in the same video, let me brighten it up a little. Pops these guys. So you could tell it was right during this frame that this came up. Right there. They're like doing the same thing. See? So the deep fake would be Cher's face was used to cover up the victim. And that's how it's done. So when I say it's not about Cher, her face is being used to cover up the victim. That's why we never know who's who. We'll never solve like who did it. Because they're called deep fakes. Cher's face, and instead of her saying, "Oh my God, my face was used," she got pissed. I would be more like, who the hell used my face? Same with Andrew Hill. And those who don't know Andrew Hill, he's the father of Hunter that was with Summer the day she went missing. So that's how they do it. So this here helps me tell you guys a story of what's underground. And from what I'm trying to show you, it's underground through the tunnel system that could be found under the bridge beneath the cement. This is Michael Van. Michael Van and Summer Moon Wells, as I'm being told, were together. Many, many different Summer Moon Wells, many different ages. And I don't know why I don't get many Michael Vans. I don't know why, but I don't. I am very, very focused in on this one Michael Van. And the picture that you see here up in the left-hand corner is the girl. This girl was with Andrew. I guess that's in his house. And the blanket in which she has reminded me very much of Michael's. Now, does that mean she's with Michael Van's blanket? No. That tells me that she's going through the same sacrifice. She's bloody. Her eye is black and blue. And that's them with Andrew Hilt. Look what's on the boy's head. Look what's on his neck. See? These elements are consistent. They stay the same. Faces, now, it's nothing to do with this boy. What I'm telling you is I'm showing you right now how easy it is for faces of young children to be manipulated to look like other kids. I see Michael Van here with his blonde hair. I don't see this kid. I see Michael Van. Now, if you look, they're in the same car seat. As if they're the same person. You keep watching the video, and that little boy to me is a Michael Van. Now, why am I showing this to you? Is because this is a perfect opportunity to show you how children's faces are hidden beneath other children's faces. And they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it. And it's become acceptable to do this. The more that society accepts this, the more that these children are going to be just gone. Just gone. And they're going to be sold on the internet, and you're never going to see them again because this is being allowed. This. The faces behind the faces, no one's stopping it. Nobody. This is being allowed. These are elements. Those are the number 5 elements. These are elements of the Summer Moon Wells missing children. This isn't something that we should be looking at and just turning the page as if it's not there. Oh, we are. Society is. Society is allowing, all of this to be shown as if it's nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense because it's being shown over and over and over and over. The same information is being shown multiple times. After it's shown multiple times, it no longer is an element that doesn't exist. It's an element now. When you see multiple elements multiple times on different victims, I don't know. I was always told then that that's an element. How many times does it have to show up in order for it to be understood as an element? Hi everybody, this is so-and-so. When you see these elements, just understand that you see victims and report it. Report it. He's not sitting in his car, what's his face in left-hand side. He's not sitting in his car. That doesn't even make sense. Maybe the top layer, he's sitting in his car because this is a deep fake. And they're using his face. This is all they're doing. Right. I mean, this is stuff that's over and over. It's not as if I'm showing, maybe the first time I'm like, oh, that's the machine. Okay, I get it. I get that there may have been hesitation. Or like, I don't understand what you're talking about. But the machine has not changed. The elements have not changed. The equipment hasn't changed. None of it has changed. This equipment, let me brighten it up, is called the equipment. And this equipment is the same equipment that I marked equipment starting the month of June 2021. This. That hasn't changed. That equipment is the exact equipment that I said was sitting on the Wells property in the Summer Moon Wells case. It's right there. That is right there. That equipment shows over and over. It doesn't shift, doesn't change, stays the same. It's the white one. This is his car. Like, it shouldn't be in a car. Right? This is the same equipment, but this is Michael Vaughn's vigil. I show it all the time. Michael Vaughn's vigil. That yellow thing shows up. This is Michael Vaughn's story. What you see in Michael Vaughn's story is the same equipment that shows up throughout Summer Moon Wells. throughout the Watts kids. So yes, it's apples to apples, but these apples, there's the Watts to the right-hand side. That's Michael Vaughn's. The Watts kids are under a bridge by cement by a doorway. The Watts video, when they show the kids diving, maybe that's what they're showing. That's not what I see. I see the sacrifice of the children. This is the Watts case, where her daughter was diving with a mask on her face. Tell me why this would be there, other than for a sacrifice. There's the top of the bridge. This situation has stayed consistent throughout each of the cases and the elements that I have been showing. This here is just like this. This element doesn't shift. It's never changed. It's a solid element that you could find anywhere within any of the stories. Summer Moon Wells's was right there. And then they brought it into the room that she hung from the ceiling. That girl who doesn't even look like her. It's the same thing. And then this shows up in that guy's car. And there it is, right there on the Wells property. So these are bits of information that I know I haven't really gone over lately, but it's time because there are a lot of new people. And my information in the beginning really holds a lot of clout because it was the beginning. And now 2.5 years later, nothing's changed. That gives it credibility. It does. However you want to see it, the elements have stayed the same. And the first time I pointed them out, I was just like, oh, look there's the box in the refrigerator. Well, I saw the box in the refrigerator because that's part of how they transfer this shit, right? But nothing's changed. This is part of the sacrifice. I could bet money that whoever they have found as far as in these cases, like any part of their body, I bet you their fingers had letters on them and hearts. I bet their fingers were carved and all their fingers weren't there. That all of their fingertips were not there. And if I am right, again, that should just give the authorities a little bit more clout to go on. Look at their fingers. So I don't show this and say, wow, this looks awful. I'm telling you, there's a smiley face. There's an A. There's a heart. There's stuff wrapped around their pinky. This is the fisherman. I follow the same fisherman. I only have one fisherman. And I could tell you and put money down on this one that the little clippers that I mentioned are this exact shape. I'm putting it out there. This is the exact shape of whatever those little things are. The children know the shape of this very well. So if in fact they ever find anything like this at the scene of a crime, you tell me if it's shaped like this. Let me crop it in. These are the little clippers for the eyeball. But you will find, if the law enforcement ever finds stuff like this, the scene of a crime, I would love to know this is a match. Because I'm telling you, if you find something that's shaped like this, you are dealing with the Summer Moon Wells sacrifices. You're dealing with Kylie Rodney sacrifices, Gabby Petito sacrifices, the Watt sacrifices, the Delphi case, Michael Vaughn. Benny Keys holds clippers just like this. Identical. Just like that. Totally removed. This is an awful, awful place. But it is underground. And it is run by some water system because these are piping. And these are the underground water systems. Summer Moon Wells' car ride. This is where all the information gets so messed up. But because of that, it gave so much information that they probably weren't expecting to give. Candace in the front seat turns into that freaking monkey thing with that shit on her head. The victims do turn into this, and the victims do turn into looking like this. It's part of the story. It's part of what they do in the sacrifice. It's just something that the kids see. And throughout Summer Moon Wells' car videos, different versions appear. And then there was just one video of Ryan Upchurch's that I kept as a reference to many different elements, and this is one of them. You see these elements. You see faces that look like this. Where'd it go? Oh, I didn't put it in here. Wait. Oh, it's down. Oh, okay. I see where it is. I actually have a photo that's going to, like a victim's photo that's going to match this. But it's a few pages to go. So this is also what Summer looks like in her car. These are just simply slides and frames that are beneath the slide and frame. And these are the things that tell the truth. That's where her box is. That's where the green face is that sits under Summer. She has that thing on her head. These are the photos that that hide beneath the fake story. It is a story, but these are the photos that hide beneath it. These are the photos that hold the elements. You see. But these are photos that I don't show often. But these are the most important photos because this is what they see. They don't see the fake shit. They see this. They see this. And these are elements that I show you all the time. Look what's on her head. It's that, like that disc. That disc shows up on all the victims' heads. So those are the elements that get lost in the shuffle. These are the elements, and this is the story that needs to be told over and over. There are little stars back here. These are summer stars. That's summer. Somewhere in the universe, this makes sense to people. This makes sense as the resurrection. This makes sense to them. And this is how they see Summer. This is what they do to her. This is what they do to all of the victims. All of them. Summer moon. And this is summer moon. Summer moon car ride tells her whole story. Summer moon's car ride shows the elements, shows the machinery, shows her story. The story that's being told beneath her car ride is the story that I try to my very best of my ability to tell because this is the story that brings justice, right? That's the machine that I said's in the car. This, where her head is in the machine. Same thing. Same thing. The Idaho 4, same thing. Same boxes, same story. It's just completely covered up. These boxes are all the same. These boxes appear throughout all their videos. They don't change. The story doesn't change. It stays just like that. Just like that. These Idaho 4, they believe that this would be seen already. This would be exposed by now. Right? Whoever is doing this, they have it down to the very little teeniest element. Hidden. So no one sees it. The problem is, I see it. Right? Back so many years ago, there was a case. I'll show you the people. And man, I'd love to interview this guy. He's in jail. But he started Knights of the Crystal Blade. Look into it. Their belief kind of really aligns with Summer Moon and what I see so far, what I see in her story. And Dylan Rounds. It looks just like a Dylan Rounds thing. He brought the kids in the middle of nowhere. 7-year-old and a 5-year-old and 2 other kids. To marry them. And they're his children, and it's this other guy's children. When I look at this, and I look at the cart, and how this is all set up, I see that this is something that is consistently repeated over and over. That this is all over America and internationally. When I saw these photos, I'm like, this is quite big. And the kids were found in water barrels, 32-degree weather, in the middle of nowhere, wrapped in a blanket. Casey Anthony, I would love to talk to her because her daughter that is part of the same situation. And I think it was part of the family stuff. So These little girls and these kids were in bad shape, right? But it showed drawings like this in L shape. They're aligned with this thing. There is no difference between these stories. None. The drawings, the doodles, they match up with what they do. This is what they do. The children do these doodles and they're kept. I don't know what they're actually doing with them, but they're well known. They become part of the storyboard, right? See, this is behind her. These doodles that show up repeat. They repeated in John Wayne Gacy. You know, look at that one. No bodies, just a head. And up top, someone is hanging from a string. You know, like the videos, these pictures are telling the story. But it's not like you hear someone saying, oh, look at this picture, it's telling the story. They don't. It's just marked off as, oh, look, they did little doodles. No, you get close into these drawings, they're no different than the other drawings that I've been showing you guys. And if you look closely to them, they give information to me. They speak. They speak and they're ignored. But these drawings help explain the story the kids went through. There are many, many, many drawings that you will see if you look into these cases. And if you decide to open them up and really look at them, you're going to see that they match. They match all the way back to Bob Vaughn's drawings. Like they have like this childish feel to it, but the information is not childish. The information, correct, the children didn't draw all these. Good, Crystal, you're right. Look, that information there is the same information as Bob Vaughn gives when he developed this whole thing. That's a triangle house, and that's a number 5. And that's a snowball thing. Their drawings may all look childish, but they're not. John Wayne Gacy's aren't childish either. He drew them that way. He did. And if you go into the little corners of these drawings, they're going to tell the story. And they tell the story in which where the victims are. To me, they do. You want to go find these kids and find these little what I call trophies. Follow the information that's given to us. Follow that. That little hole there. This is real blurry, but let me tell you something. That's a ledge, and I see the story. They have nothing else to go by. These kids were victimized just like Summer Moon Wells' victims. Their hands, their fingers, their hair is covered in sticky. Remember how I said to you guys, I see like mesh and it's like sticky. They said that what was in their hair, all over their hair, was sap. That's what it is. It's wet sap. Their heads were covered in it. Look at their hands. The picture behind her shows information that I believe this is what the walls look like if they were to crawl out of the hole. You know how I say you could find these in the houses that lead out? And I said there's wood, there's cement, there's metal. I believe this to be the hole in the wall. Yep, sap in their hair. I see Don Wells's construction is something like that. You know, this might as well be Summer Moon. When I look at these pictures and look in the reflection behind them, that pretty much shows what these rooms look like. For all I know, they're sitting in the rooms. I don't know. They were found in barrels. But this case really hit me hard. Like these pictures, you know, I went to bed last night and I was like, they're kids right now as we sit here. Think about it. As we sit here, I'm showing you what's happening. I'm showing you and saying, now obviously it's all allegedly because it's just what I do. I'm sitting here telling you that there's kids that are sitting like this right now in situations just like this. And I'm sitting here saying ways that, you know, the law enforcement could find these kids. And these kids are connected to things that are connected to sacrifices. Like what's on her neck. But we could go to bed tonight and nothing's done. It's just not looked at that I know of. This group, what I see is I see summer moon wells. I see the sacrifices that are the same. I see that same hat that is sitting in these videos as they do in Summers, Kylie Rodney's, Gabby Petito's, that hat. And there's your bucket. These are buckets just like Summer Moon's red for sale bucket. I don't see a difference. Why? Because that's how it's choosing to tell the story. These buckets are no different than Summer Moon's. They have to be small enough to fit into these buckets. They were sleeping in the bucket, wrapped in a blanket, freezing. These children are going through this right now. Right now. These blankets go with them. This situation completely to me screams Michael Vaughn. That chair is significant. This information that it shows me is part of every story, every case. For instance, when I look, thank you for that thumbs up. More thumbs up would be amazing. When I look at this car, and I hone into this car, right here, I see Don Wells's car on his property. And, I'm supposed to see what the story is, right? Because what I'm noticing is what's under the car and connected to the front of the car. It's all connected to the front of the car, which is connected to the cart. Now, I would ask myself, like if I were the law enforcement, like, what is all this doing being connected to each other? Then you've got the go-kart, of course. And you have the blue can. This here is what you see in the cases that I cover. All of this situation here. Right here. Let me move it smaller and wider. Copy. This situation here is what you see that's connected to these cars. Even that, see that bright blue thing? It's just mind-blowing how I actually see these things. That's connected to the car. It's all part of it. Then you got that chair that I said that those are just this, part of the information that shows up in the cases as well. They always have this chair. Summer had this chair. Michael had this chair. It's part of the story. Just part of the story. And Michael, Vaughn, and Summer, and what I'm showing you here today, it's all the same story. These elements, I believe, are elements that I really needed to go back over. That the kids, this is what they look like. And their kids like this right now. It reminds me of these kids. That was in Candace's video. This here is no different than this. Now, the guy that you see sitting with these kids, he just happens to have that look that I have pegged as an important person in these cases. Doesn't mean it's him, right? What it means is that the person looks like him and represents him. Now, you look closely at this picture, this little girl, it's very odd. So he looks like the same guy that I'm looking for. But look at her legs and look what's under her leg. It's metal. Then you have like I don't know, that is a hand? This guy, to me, looks like the guy that I have pegged down as the guy that I look for. Same dude that showed up in the hospital with these girls. Same storyboard. No, I sent this into the sheriff's department that I was talking with and working with on the Amy case. It was years and years and years ago. And when I saw this blanket, there's a particular pattern on it that they were looking for because that pattern was in Amy's blanket. It's this pattern. It's the same. It's the first time I've seen a pattern like this. I actually sent it in. Because he said that the pattern on Amy's blanket that was found, she was wrapped in this blanket. Was very unusual. But so is this one. So, I always hope that it makes a difference. I always hope that somewhere it brings these cases together and helps solve it. But they matched a bit to me. So I sent that in. This is the guy that I follow. His face matches the same guy that I consistently am following, but I wanted to show you these few photos that there are deep fakes over the photos, and what's underneath the video is nothing less than disgusting. And this guy's video, this guy I got through Benny, like to follow him. And the videos are pretty nasty. Her hand and her arm, they just have all the information on it that are elements to the kids that are going through this. There's one thing that you need to look at, like when if you see a photo and you watch a video that you're like, I don't feel comfortable with this, I want you to go in there, blow it up, and look at the arms and the hands. It's very important to look at the arm and the hands. They look like this. Now, I don't know why, but they do. It's like they're not attached and the fingers are all really weird. Whatever that is, look for it. Pay attention for it. It's her wrist and her hand. That's what the victims look like. And those fingers are very wrong. So again, this is for educational and entertainment purposes. So I'm educating you on what to look for. Different faces. Now, I see elements. So what I am telling you is they are put in these rooms that have lots of blankets and they're not in good shape. And the more we ignore it, the more children that are going to be exposed to it. This room in the back, look all the way in the back, shows the same boxes that I showed you in Idaho 4. Idaho 4, these are the green, the white. I put it in the beginning. I'm going to show you again. This here, these are her boxes. But the boxes, they stay the same. They don't shift. The color doesn't change. It stays consistent. No difference. This here, these boxes here are the same as what I showed you in the Idaho 4. The green, the white, the yellow. Idaho 4s are right here. You see? This is the part of the face that matches up. This part of the face shows, you now will see it. Just recognize it and remember it, and you will see how it pops up. This is what you're supposed to look at from an element standpoint. Let me grab the doodle. These doodles right. Okay. Here we go. Doodles become a big part of this photo. But she's coming out of the hole that all the kids come out of, the hole. They all do. And there's no difference. She is crawling up and out. This is the guy whose videos these are. They're extremely relevant to the photos that I'm consistently showing you guys. Very. It's up to the law enforcement, if they choose to, go into the smallest of the smallest details within these videos and really, really look at the smallest elements you can find and blow them up. Blowing one up. Mm-hmm. This sorry, I'm staring at it. This here is familiar all the way down to the blanket. The information, I see so much information. Many times when I sit here and explain it, I may be explaining it saying, this is what's there, this is what you see, this is what it's telling you. Truth is, I should just be saying this is what it's telling me, and this is what I see. Because I could show you, again, like a red dot, and be like, look at that orange dot. So always use your own knowledge and understanding of what you know to be true. You know, Candace Wells in the beginning gave us stories of what happened that day. And her story doesn't stay the same. There are a lot of you that weren't here from the beginning, right?
That somebody has came up here.
And many people didn't hear all of the different interviews, and you really couldn't put it side by side to figure out what was the truth. There are a few things that I want to point out. I'm going to be showing you a few quick interviews. They're quick. What does not stay consistent is she says, I'm telling you up front so you could pay attention, that one of the interviews is she came home. Let me see which one it is. She came home, or when they went shopping, one of it, they went shopping, all she got was milk. She says it. All she got is milk. Came home, and she put it right into the kitchen. Another one, she says, they got milk, cheese, lots of groceries. Came home, she put Summer in the house, then came back out with the boys to get the groceries. And then she talks about how Summer's arms were above her head and shows it. But I want you to recognize there's no way she could put her hands above her head the way she's saying, especially the way she was laying in the car. It's impossible. So listen to this first story. This is quick.
And took her, has lured her away from here. That somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just turned, the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen. She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
She tried to
and
shave her head
and make it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control, so she we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad, and but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. You know, I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, you know, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, you know, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, you know, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, you know, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, you know, out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts, and we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's
Okay. Before we go to the next video, couple things. One, they never ever mentioned lice. When they went back to talk about how often her head was shaved, it turned to having lice. Second of all, she talks about, you know, the flowers. She went into the boys and just remember what was just said as I play the next one. Yeah, and look at the plumbing behind him. I'm going to get this one. Remember what was just
It was all trash down here. Like,
remember what was just said. This one I'm going to go straight to 343.
minutes, grab my milk, come right back out the door, and
Okay. She's going to go over how she had the groceries and how she unloaded them this time. This one you just listened to is she ran in, unloaded, brought the milk in, unloaded the bag, and then came back out with Summer to plant the flowers. Okay?
because I had to pick up a few things. I was in maybe the store for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed the milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else.
Okay. And that's the food rush?
No,
Or
priceless.
priceless. Okay.
She only got milk and maybe cheese. She was in there for less than 5 minutes. She doesn't have a lot of groceries.
All right.
And then I was like, Hunter, you're not coming to the house. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going back to your house.
Okay.
And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake.
So here she doesn't know if they went back to the house with Hunter and then he brought her home. Here she's saying, listen.
Maybe the store for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed the milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else.
Okay. And that's the food rush?
No,
Or
priceless.
priceless. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I was like, Hunter, you're not coming to the house. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going back to your house.
Okay.
And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake when I left his house.
Okay. Okay.
And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me.
Sorry, that's not what she said, so listen.
Okay.
I tried to get her to come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't.
Okay. Where does, from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and Mama grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what Mom got. She got, it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one, I think.
Okay, is that the slushy?
Yeah, the slushies. I don't know.
Did you buy food?
Nope.
Just the slushy?
Just the slushies.
Okay, then what happened?
And then we went from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes. Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and he was sitting there playing on TikTok like he always does.
Okay.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he don't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made TikToks.
Okay.
Honest to God.
I've always prayed. I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Got it. Roger that. So from there, you go back to Hunter's house.
I dropped him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of.
It was
All right, listen.
right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside. I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer. I just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake sitting up.
Okay.
But she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I changed her clothes because when I have the windows down, it can be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows on. Roll up the window, mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
That's just
personality?
Summer.
Tell me about Summer. I want to know about Summer.
She's a happy little girl.
Okay.
She's the best little girl anybody could imagine. Just like, well, I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
But, you know, happy-go-lucky. Nothing ever brings her down hardly.
Today's a tough day for you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's been tough lately.
Tell me about that.
Every time I look around, I see her face. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rock. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch
So now she fell asleep, right? She didn't fall asleep before.
that moment.
Okay.
It was just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video recorder instead of the picture recorder.
Okay.
So, like, did you catch it? She like, Mom, I accidentally hit the video recorder.
That's what you get for handing Grandma the camera.
Yeah, well, I was driving, though.
Okay.
And I was like, did you put her arm back down? She was like, yeah.
So you all know what she looks like with her arms in the car seat. It's not possible to have all of her arm up there. If she was sleeping, let me show you what I mean. This is the picture. Now understand that this is the picture that they got. This comes from the story she is talking about. This. Okay? This comes from the story she's talking about. She's already sleeping, so what she's saying is she fell asleep with both arms above her head. No, you can't fall asleep with both arms above your head with this photo. Because remember, this is the photo that was captured in the story she is telling. This is the photo.
What's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her
And she
arms
said it twice. I'm driving, I'm driving, I'm driving.
up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I want to
Okay, do you see what I mean? There's no way she fell asleep like that. Her one arm is under her, and it's under the milk. So she answered that way because we have her on tape saying, is her arm up? Is her arm still up? No. So it's impossible.
And I was just gonna run out for a second, and we never even planned. I didn't even plan
Oh, okay. Wait, let me go back.
things I do.
Right.
And I was like, "Here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture." And then she accidentally hit the video record instead of the picture part.
Okay.
But like, did you catch it? She like, "That's Mom, I accidentally hit the video part."
That's what you get for handing grandma the camera.
Yeah. Well, I was driving though,
Okay.
and I was like, "Did you put her arm back on?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dang." And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she
See how she did that?
took her arm down.
Okay.
And then
See how she did that? Covered herself up?
when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
You know who?
Hear that? This time, before, her and Summer got up and they brought the groceries in real fast and then went to Grandma's. This time, she got Summer out of the car. They went inside to get the boys to help with all the groceries, which she only had milk and cheese. But this time, the boys came out. Listen.
Got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
You know who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just gonna run out for a second, and we never even planned, I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be.
So, this is where the story, I believe this is where something went terribly wrong as well. She actually wanted to say, I didn't even plant the flowers, is really what she almost said. So somewhere things had to shift. What this tells me is they had to change their story. Something went very wrong with the drivers and the cars and the timing. Something went extremely wrong with the cars, the timing, and this is what she was, this is obviously through my clairvoyance, right? And nothing's been proven. Nothing has been proven right or wrong. But that's really what she wanted to say. Listen.
And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just gonna run out for a second, and we never even planned, I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with us that day at all.
Got it.
He just called and was like, "Want to come over for a second?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll come over for a second, but I gotta get right back to Mom." And that was all it was a quick second thing.
Got it.
And he's like, "Mom, can I go?"
That is where the other confusion, okay? People said that he was at her house. So I believe that he was at her house and they had to change the story. You could see, and I could understand her body language in the way in which she says certain things and adds to a story when she tells a lie. That's what she's doing. I'm better at this than these guys did with Don. She adds these really weird things like, "Oh, that's what we always do. You know, that's what Summer always likes to sleep like her daddy. Oh, that's what we do." That's because she's backing up her lie. So she said he came over, they were just going for a second. So he came over. And she changed it to she went over there because she mumbled and she jumbled her words up. Listen.
I want to come over for a second. I was like, yeah.
Why would he call her and say, you want to come over for a second? I think what she did is she asked him, do you want to come over for a second? Why would he ask her to come over for a second? He said she called. So she's got to be asking him to come over for a second. She caught herself. There's no way Hunter called her and he hasn't talked to her, he said, in a long time and said, come over for a second. There's no way. Listen.
Babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, he wants to know if Hunter was going to come over and babysit. That's what the plan was, maybe.
Got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
You know, who was home?
See, when she makes comments like that, it's a follow-up to a lie.
Got home.
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second and...
See? She was going to run out for a second and she was calling Hunter to come over. Was the story they were going to use. I'm just telling you what I hear. You know? And she was going to run out for a second, and then all of a sudden she says Hunter called for her to come over for a second. It makes no sense. She must have been calling for her to babysit. It's almost as if the guy from the interview room almost led her in that direction. It's almost as if he's answering in ways that she needs to cover up for herself. Like if you notice, he says, oh, so he could babysit. So it's almost like when he says something like that, as I'm watching it now, she gets all jumbled and changes his story. Now, obviously we know that he doesn't know what happened, but it's very leading. It's like almost leads her. Listen.
And I woke her up. She got up. I unbuckled her. She got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
You know, who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were
There she
watching
goes.
TV.
Now listen.
And sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second, and we never even planned, I didn't even plan for him.
See? They were going to run out for a second.
To even be with us that day at all.
Got it.
He just called and was like, want to come over for a second? I was like, yeah, I'll come over for a second, but I got to get right back to Mom. And that was all it was a quick second thing.
Got it.
And...
Like, what was a quick second thing?
like, Mom, can I go with them? I'm like sitting there shaking my head like this, and I was like, I don't care. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. You know, I didn't even think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I always take them kids. Every time they call me and ask me, come get me.
That's her cover up.
I always come get them because them mom don't do nothing with them. She just sits there.
That seems to be the difference between you and Allie. You guys have a difference in terms of what you say you do and what she says she does, right? There's always that. It seems to be a conflict.
Conflict somewhere.
Yeah, so, yeah, go ahead, finish your
But I'm
thought.
always taking the kids like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago.
It's leading her. That's how I see it. I'm sorry, but it's leading her. I want to play this one more time.
We were like 2 minutes from the house when
That's what you get for handing grandma the camera.
Yeah, well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did you put her arm back down? She was like, yeah. I was like, dang. And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this.
See? She had to make sure to say she got a picture of her. Because at first, she said her arm went down and she's like, dang. But she got the picture anyways.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
You know, who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second, and we never even planned, I didn't even plan for Hunter to even.
That right there is so obvious. Think about it, you guys. There's no way Hunter all of a sudden called her out of the blue and asked her to come over. She messed up the story because the boys are inside sleeping, watching TV.
He with us that day at all.
Got it.
He just called and was like, he'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really, they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second, and we never even planned, I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with us that day at all.
Got it.
He just called and was like, want to come over for a second? I was like, yeah, I'll come over for a second, but I got to get right back to Mom. And that was all it was a quick second thing.
Got it.
And he's like, Mom, can I go with them? I'm like sitting there shaking my head like this, and I was like, I don't care. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. You know, I didn't even think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I always take them kids. Every time they call me and ask me, come get me, I always come get them because them mom don't do nothing with them. She just sits there.
That seems to be the difference between you and Allie. You guys have a difference in terms of what you say you do and what she says she does, right? There's always that. It seems to be a conflict.
Conflict somewhere.
Yeah, so, yeah, go ahead, finish your
But I'm
thought.
always taking the kids like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. I went over to Allie's and I asked Allie if she wanted her and the kids wanted to go up to, I want to call it Ducktown because that's where we were planning on going, was Ducktown. And she's like, no, I'm going to sleep, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, now listen to this one.
Okay, watching TV, where's Summer?
Summer, she was with me.
Okay, so walk me through that.
Alright, well, we walked up in here and we got Josie, wine, and oil, and the boys.
Right, you put the groceries down, right?
Yeah, well, we went back.
See how she leads them. Here she just put the groceries down. The boys didn't come out to help with the bags. There was just milk and cheese. Here, Summer was still outside. And she says she put the groceries down herself. We just listened to her say how that didn't happen. Listen.
Okay, watching TV, where's Summer?
Summer, she was with me.
Okay, so walk me through that.
Alright, well, we walked up in here and we got Josie, wine, and oil, and the boys.
Right, you put the groceries down, right?
Yeah, well, we went back out and then we brought the first shit, put them down.
Boys did not do that.
And then Mom, she went and took her stuff to her house.
I feel as if he's leading her into certain conversation.
Her stuff away.
Okay,
And then, of course, me and Summer went back over, put our stuff away.
okay. You went back in.
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. And then we were just doing normal stuff
Okay.
on the house like we normally do. And
Do you understand that at this point they're not doing household chores, they're supposed to be planting flowers?
My mom was sitting there at the time I come out and I'm standing here. I was like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? She's like, these plants, I gotta get them transplanted. I was like, well, summer will help us, so I went back in. By that time, she was sitting on the floor playing with her toys.
Right here?
No, in the kitchen where we were just at.
Okay.
She was actually sitting on the floor playing with the toys at that time. I said, Summer, you want to help plant flowers? And she jumped up, left her toys, and I said,
That's good. Yeah, that's what kids do. It's their job.
Alright.
Okay?
We walked over here and we...
So this one is different also.
We can't really get on. I can't get on that.
Yeah.
But I looked under there and looked under every blanket I possibly looked under.
Yep.
And then I come over here and I looked on one side and the sand work. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know, it's hard on me. But I know I did come out of there and said, Summer. Because sometimes she'll sit right here and just sit here and play for, And usually when she comes out and she goes directly that way up to the swing.
Oh, okay, so this is like her,
Yeah,
when she come running out. Oh, yeah, you can see the path here.
Right to the swing.
Right, you can see where she could have run right up to
And this is
here.
all the further she would go. She wouldn't leave.
Okay.
She wouldn't go nowhere else.
This is absolutely.
I want to find the one where she says she was planting cactuses instead of flowers. It's here somewhere.
We can't really get on. I can't get on that.
Yeah.
But I looked under there and looked under. Usually when she comes out and she goes directly
Running out. Oh, yeah, you can see the path here.
right to the swing.
Right, you can see where she could have run right up to
And this is
here.
all the further she would go. She wouldn't leave.
Okay.
She wouldn't go nowhere else.
This is absolutely jaw-dropping, but eye-opening.
It
changes everything.
Yes.
Forever.
Changed my life,
Forever.
for sure.
So how long ago was that?
Well, it's been a long time since I've, been in trouble. But I've seeked out.
This guy.
There's a different animal out there.
Yes.
So did you deal with the Zion curtain and all that?
Oh, man.
So I want you to hear this part. When I say that this guy, this is very important to listen to. This guy who started this, and these kids were found in barrels and mirroring their own children at the age of 4 and 5, like 4 and 7. This started in Utah where Don was there. Okay? And this guy calls it following the Zion thing and Seventh-day Adventures. You've got to listen to what he has to say. He gives a story of his background. This is extremely important to what's going on and what happened to Summer.
Been in trouble. But
Find that changes everything.
Yes.
Forever.
Changed my life,
Forever.
for sure.
So how long ago was that?
Well, it's been a long time since I've, been in trouble. But I've seeked out, churches and stuff, that like the Seventh-day Adventist,
I know I've heard you say you lived in Utah, and there's a different animal out there.
Yes.
So did you deal with the Zion curtain and all that?
Oh, man. Yeah, if you're a Mormon out there, you're fine, but if you're anti-Mormon, the Board of Pardons in Utah is almost all Mormon.
So if you're in jail there, you're...
The Board of Pardon and Parole.
Well, and I think you just live in there. Yeah. Where'd you live?
Ogden, Roy area. Yeah.
So understand what he is talking about. And now his daughter is gone. And Candace's sister is gone. He's talking about this group. This was the same time. These were the same years. Same years. that storyboard, this storyboard is what he's talking about, you guys. It's the same thing. This is the same thing. This guy that I was watching, let's see if I have a little video. I do. These are the videos. So what I do is I look at these videos, right? And I go and look for the photos. And this guy wants you to see how this tape, this is what deep fake is. I want you, this is the guy, and I believe that this is the group that's behind many of these children that got gone. Look at this video, watch the hands. Watch. So, this is what it's saying. Therefore, seek for a Zion-like relationship, and thus lust after none other than her who is given unto thee, meaning their daughter, and think of nothing less than the Zion which is coming, even so. Watch the hands. Look at her, look at their hands. They have so many different fingers. Like does that crazy shit. It's so many fingers. See, look. I'll show you his hand. Looks just with the thing on his wrist, just like that little girl's did. Let me brighten this up. This is what his hands look like. So what's going on in here is this Summer Moonwell's Missing Children's information. That's what's happening here. This is information. And the hands, see? Do all this stuff. Holding certain things. See? And throughout the video, this is what goes on. And these sacrifices match up to what I'm following with you guys. These are the kids. Look at their hands. Look at their fingers. Look at this little girl's thumb. I personally don't even know who to trust with what. But this stuff is in here, and it's not pointed out. So when you stop it like this, the information is quite different. Because what it's doing is it's showing information behind the walls that were put here so you don't see. Let me show you what I mean. The children have the white thing across their face, right? If you get a frame that doesn't have that white thing, and you crop into it, you get to see a part of the story that is beneath the deep fake. So when that white thing is gone is what I like to fall on. It's showing you information that they don't want you to see. And there's a lot here, you guys, they don't want you to see. His hands are what really in hers. This is the predator. This is the guy. This is her husband. I mean, his wife. You know, and he talks about all this stuff. It's a story. Just look him up. Take a screenshot. It's interesting to look at the videos and see how they are very much parallel to Summer Moon. And the information that they show in the video is pretty crazy. Always look at the corner, this corner here. Is the information on top of each other? Yeah, but the crazy thing is it looks just like the Idaho 4 stuff. The way that it's on top of each other is the same way that you see all the videos. It's got like this screen thing, like a plexiglass. And this one has the same kind of plexiglass. It's almost as if they're always looking through plexiglass. So what I do, I can't get this bright enough, shoot. So look at the corner. The other one I couldn't get even bright enough. And let me show you what I mean about this plexiglass. It's something to understand that it's common. Like I said, I follow the repeat information. I follow it because it's never done me wrong. Not that one. Copy. Like this. This is screwed up, and how I'm able to say that is because I see this over and over. This is a pattern. It shows that this is being done. This is something that's done in the Idaho 4 was really obvious. See? It's not, it's something important, because all this shit in the corner is called manipulated, deep faked. And what's under here is the truth. What's under here is the truth. This trailer has a number 5 over the window. It's marked. Look inside the windows, and it's like looking inside Idaho 4 windows. That's what's above the door. This these are boxes. Like that looks like a square that was put in the window. But get that other photo. Wait. Sorry, guys. Not that one. So that's what's in the window. And that's what's in her face over here. Right here. Wait. This is in the window, and I said to you, shit like this, that... Why is it doing that? Edit, copy, paste. Pull. You see what it keeps doing? Don't know why it's doing that. Pull. Trying to get this, and it's telling me to pull. That is this. See what's happening to her photo? Watch. So here I'm showing you the video over this. Look at this. And this is what I'm going to put up. This. The fuck? This is not funny. Watch this. That's supposed to be photos of them because they're coming out of like a box. But it's not. It's them coming out of a box. Those aren't photos. She's holding a cup. This is the same photo. But here they're coming out of a box. You guys. What the fuck? I'm still on. I don't know. I don't know. No. Right. Okay. This is serious. So we have them. Where's my full photo? We have them sitting here. But this is a very fucking freaky photo, you guys. Because these children are not sitting where they say they were sitting. You guys, this is so... I know what I see. This is really, really a bust. To me, this busts open the fact that, wow, that they really didn't. This picture here, she even is holding the cup. This can't be the same. It's one of these are the truth and one of these is false. Do you all see that? This photo they're saying that one of these is fake. This is such a bust to me. It's either that's fake. It's really fucking scary if that's real. You guys. This here, you guys. This here, you guys, is the deep fake. This is a perfect fucking example. Look at her hands. Boom. The deep fake is that they're sitting in this situation. They're over here. They're fake. Or else they're real. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? So we're watching a video and they show this shit. What I'm telling you is all this stuff around them is fake except for this. My mind is blown. Look at how they have that. It's the same, you guys. This is the same photo. Nothing's changed other than this one's fake. The one that you put up top is fake. This is copy. Like here, I'll do one at a time. See? They put a dress on her. There's no body. This is this. There's no arms. There are no arms here. You guys, there are no arms here. No, you guys, I'm blown away right now. This is fake. See? They built it in. This is the deep fake. All I have to do is line up the circles. That matches on top. She doesn't have an arm over to the left. Underneath this. This goes here. Right there. The circles help line it up. So that's that one. Wow. That's this little girl. See? She has no arms. There's arms in here. Oh, I feel like throwing up. You know when I say that there's pictures that are as close to the truth? Well, you're looking at it. Not this. This. This is what's under the fake fucking photo. There are no arms. Who are the boys? There are two boys. I wonder if they recovered two boys. Because those two boys are right there. And one of them has a square on the face. So I would venture to say that that one was already sacrificed. If the person who did this, I'm saying that the one with the square is sacrificed. They have no arms. Wow. You guys, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. That this is over this. There are 2 boys missing. I think they have no face. I think that they peel the face, they peel the skin off, you guys. I'm telling you, this is a real photo. I feel like I could throw up. The skin gets peeled. I'm going to move this video and see what is in the smaller. Okay, so this little boy, this is a little boy in here. He's the one with the square face. He's this one. Those are 2 boys and 2 girls. These are 2 boys and 2 girls. These are not 3 girls. So I'm telling you that there's children missing. See how this was manipulated? Look between his hands. Watch between his hands. See? There's the room. Yeah, I feel like that's a picture of 2 boys and 2 girls and not the 3 girls. That's a very telling video shot. So this isn't real. That's the deep fake. So this here, what's in the smaller one, is what's under this photo. And you're going to see at all the beds, you know, when they do these things, these beds have holes in them, right? I've told you that before. I've shown you that before in Summer Moon Wells. What they're actually hiding in this picture is the hole, just like how Michael Vaughn I showed you is coming out of. That hole was covered up by white, see? See how, let me show you. See, here is what's under it. Whoever did this video, they did this. They created this. Because this is what's under what you're looking at. What you're looking at this is placed over it. See? Totally different. And what's different is what's on top. Different information, you guys, is placed throughout this video. See, so now behind her is that bed, the bed pattern, right? Where it's bed pattern, where before so the most important thing coming out of this video today is that these little photos in these corners is what the law enforcement should grab of the children. So the picture of that little girl in there is supposed to be this little girl. Let me show you something. I'm going to have to go through this video. This here. Is this little girl. Wait. Now you're telling me that this is the picture that's in the corner. This here. No way. So this little girl is right there. And then they show her, you know, obviously this is all layered, but look what's going on with her hand. These are different pictures of the girls, and this video I would think should be looked at because it's bad. It's showing information on these children that probably haven't been found. These are children. And I bet the answers are in here. This is the picture that we also have with their heads. These are the two that match, and this is what I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to put this one up. And this one. I'm going to cut out the two boys for now so I could get even a bigger picture, but there's 6 kids in the picture. So they want you to believe that these 2 photos are true. There's no way. That is a crock of shit. So I'm going to go over this one probably tomorrow and just make a video of it because this is way too important to not do a separate video on. This is way too important. And what I mean by that is this is the Summer Moonwell's Missing Children's information. This is what they do to them. But this is telling me that there's more kids here that they missed. So what I do here is bring justice to the children. So what I'm hearing is that there are many other children that they know of, these perpetrators know of, that want justice. Because this photo tells me so. This tells me so. This is a very unique, odd photo that's showing us the story, showing me the story, and I see it. So that's what's so important for me to look into. And I will make it a separate video. I'm calling it a night, you guys. That was great. This was a really good live. See, you never know what's going to come out of it. And then I listen back to it to make sure that I understand myself. On that note, we're going to call it a night. Really look at these pictures and feel the importance of being fooled. And if we keep allowing us to be fooled, like these photos, then our children will just keep getting got gone. Because this is the truth that lies underneath what they want you to see as the truth. This is the truth that's going to bring justice. But it takes all of us to see it, right? So that's what I ask of. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. I'm going to go have some dinner. Have a wonderful Saturday night. And thank you for being here, Muffin Top. Wonderful job out there. And everybody else that's my subscribers that are so great in my chat room. Have a great night, you guys. And check this story out. This is kind of crapola. These are Summer Moonwell's children is what you're looking at. These are Summer Moonwell's children. Good night, you all.